We're looking at this new partnership, Baidu and Lyft. What is it that stands out for you?
Well, what stands out to me is that Lyft has international ambitions. They had acquired FreeNow in April of this year, and so it looks like they're going to be expanding internationally quite aggressively. And Baidu, who is also looking to make their presence known internationally, it looks like they're the perfect partners.
In terms of the autonomous driving and the technologies, Baidu, Apollo Go, I've had the pleasure recently to be speaking with a number of the autonomous vehicle companies like Pony AI, like WeRide. How does Baidu set itself apart?
Baidu is the 800-pound gorilla in the China market, at least. They have over 1,000 robotaxis in service in at least almost a dozen cities in China, I think. And so they are known as the original technology Google for China company. And I think they're trying to pivot just like Google is with Waymo. So this is really linchpin for them to become more known as an AI company as opposed to a search company.
Now, the teaming up with Lyft, this is something that we're seeing come across with Pony AI and WeRide, both teaming up with the likes of Uber. This is the ride-hailing apps, and they're basically utilizing their platform for their expansion. Why is it important that they didn't team up with another Uber, but they chose a different partner?
I think that they might. I don't know if this relationship is exclusive. As you can see with Uber, they've partnered with Pony and WeRide and Wave and Waymo. So I want to say that Lyft and Uber and even Didi likely will want to be the pick and shovel people that want to provide autonomous vehicle service around the world across different robotaxi companies.
And why do you think American ride-hailing apps like Uber and Lyft are partnering with Baidu in Middle East, in Asia, and now in Europe as well? I thought it was interesting that with all the talk about U.S.-China rivalry, these American ride-hailing apps are choosing Baidu. Is it about the tech that Baidu has, or the cost advantage, or the interoperability? Yeah, what do you think it is?
I think there's let's say, a relationship that both parties can help each other, because right now there's only one dominant ride-hailing app and robotaxi company, Uber and Waymo. And Uber is over 150 million users around the world. So it makes a ton of sense for a robotaxi company who doesn't have that type of install base, especially for the Chinese companies who have predominant presence in China, but not abroad. So for them to invest in eventually get to 100 million users, it would take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of capital. Uber really cuts that timeline and capital expenditure by billions and billions of dollars. And with Uber, they want to be known as an international company. They effectively are an international company with how many countries they operate in, although we do know them as an American ride-hailing firm. So.
And what are the challenges for these companies when it comes to entering a new market? Because there is a financial case for global expansion. Some analysts say that Baidu's profit potential is going to be a lot higher outside China because its pricing will be similar to human Uber drivers. But when it comes to entering a new market, how do you see Baidu in these overseas markets and Waymo in Japan playing out in the near future?
I look at the Baidu problems from a practical standpoint because it looks like they're leaning into the RT6, which is their version of a robotaxi that costs less than, I want to say, 300,000 RMB to build. But is that a practical vehicle in European roads? Because is that a limiting factor for them? Because it's a larger vehicle. Now, it's practical in China and likely practical in other parts of the world where there are larger roads. And then there are almost the regulatory and the data issue, sort of the challenges that need to be addressed before they're able to really launch into the European Union. Because country by country, there's going to be data privacy and data security laws that they need to, let's say, influence in order to really be able to operate the way they want to. So those are going to be certain challenges. And then, from a practicality standpoint, what we're going to see is the Waymos really compete with the Chinese companies in Europe and other parts of the world. They're likely going to try to slice it. And you're seeing that bifurcation because Waymo's not likely to enter China, and these Chinese companies are less likely to enter the United States. So the rest of the world is up for grabs for these two sides.